mock, we're known for being kinda rude. But tonight I'm free, drinks on me, don't have no attitudes. Type dizzy and I'm caught up in the moment. Getting wingsy and feeling important. I'm just getting my life tonight. I think that's how that goes. What's going on? It's your boy Kyle Monday here, and you're tuning in to Zodiac Monday.
Zodiac Monday.
I got too much liquor in me, but I stand tall. I got way too many bottles of that alcohol. Type busy, but I know how to get down. Get drunk, getting crazy with the in crowd. I've been feeling myself tonight. I got my homies with me, so you know I'm alright. Acting crazy with me, cause you know.
What's going on, guys? We are back with Zodiac Mondayz, episode 6.
Okay.
Today we have a special guest. We have my guy here. His name is Kyle. We are so excited for you to be on the show with us. Tell us a little about yourself, man.
All right. Well, the name is Kyle Wonder. Okay. I'm definitely from New York, Brooklyn, BK all day, stand up.
Yes, sir.
I am what you call an entertainer. I sing, I dance, I write, I do everything. I'm just here to make the world a better place through communication and entertainment. That's all.
Okay.
You know,
That's nice. A true creator.
A true creator.
Yes.
Amen.
Well, we're so excited to have you on the show with us today.
Okay.
So we have a few segments that we do.
Okay.
So we have our transit segment.
Ooh.
We do our weekly forecast.
Okay.
And we have something that we call the distraction segment, right?
Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
this is it's an entertainment segment, but to some of us it's a distraction.
All right.
All right.
I feel
So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna start out with our transits for the
Okay.
week. Okay.
Okay.
My friend. Quinn,
Yes.
Come on,
what's up?
friend.
Oh, first,
Yes.
actually, first, I want to ask you guys how your week was.
Okay.
So, how was your week?
My week was phenomenal. It's actually life-changing. Not to be so dramatic, but when I flew into Atlanta, I flew in with purpose to record music.
Okay.
So I partnered up with my producer. I call him my Jimmy Jam and my Teddy Lewis. Shout out to Teddy P Music, of course. So we're recording every day, and we recorded 4 different songs with 4 different unique sounds. And every time I went into the studio, I felt more and more inspired to go again and go again and go again. And I was with my friend and my manager, Mo, and it turned up being not just that we recorded music, but I got interviews. Like I scored this, I scored a photo shoot, I scored another meet and greet. So like it went from having level 1 to like level 5.
Yes,
so I'm blessed. It's been a great week for me. Yeah. I'm a Capricorn.
Nice.
Infamous. You know, we start the year.
Yeah, okay. I see what's going on.
All right. You know, I love you, Aries, but you know, Capricorn, we start the year. we got the major holidays, you know. We got the Scotty stuff, you know. We got New Year's, Christmas.
Yeah.
We got the stuff, you know. So.
For sure. Okay, so we got the Capricorn vibes going on.
Right.
So, Quinn, how was your week?
Right.
Oh, well, my week was pretty good. Actually, it's funny because I know me and you talked about it over the week. But the attraction energy that we all been feeling, so everybody been feeling that attraction energy. So I've been feeling really good this week. I've been feeling myself again. It's that good feeling. So, you know, I'm feeling all that attraction energy, that Mars energy, that Venus energy. I'm feeling all of that. So this week, you know, it's been a good week.
Okay.
It's been a good week.
Yeah. I'm hot for you. I feel that energy right here. Waving stuff.
Yeah, so how was your friend? How was your week, friend?
Well, my week was good. Actually, I just started back doing my driving career.
Nice.
So I've been all the way to Pennsylvania this week, Virginia, back down to Florida, Mississippi, just New Orleans. So I had a great week. I just been traveling. I'm a bit tired, you know, but I'm I'm a Libra, so we gonna weigh that thing out. We're gonna be good.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you riding around, you getting?
I'm riding around. I'm getting But yeah, it was an awesome week. It really was. So, and I'm excited to be here again. So
Cool.
we're gonna have a good day.
All right. I love this energy right here.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Yes. Universe.
Universe.
Right.
Thank you.
Universe.
Love you.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go into the weekly transit.
Okay, let's get it.
All right. And so I'll start off. Our first transit that we're going to be talking about is the Sun sextile Mars.
Okay.
All right. So the Sun is basically going to be our expression of ourselves, who we are, how we show up in the world.
Right.
All right. And Mars is going to be that passion energy. So we're going to be feeling all that passion energy.
My favorite
So
planet.
That's your favorite
That
one?
is my favorite planet.
Really?
It's right. Yeah. I love Mars. Mars is a bold planet.
Yes.
You know, there's life down there. Listen.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And speaking of, so with this energy, we're gonna be feeling very assertive about our passion.
Okay.
We're gonna be feeling all that assertiveness. You're gonna be in your mind about your passions. You're gonna be very driven.
Right. A lot of self-confidence.
A lot of self-confidence.
Gotcha.
Speak to
So,
me. Speak,
Yeah.
Lord. Speak to me.
I'm feeling it too already.
Okay.
Right.
so a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
What drives you? What motivates you? What's the underlying thing that's pushing you to accomplish everything that you have?
It's the message behind the music. It's, I think right now, as much as I love social media, it kind of did an adverse effect to society. Social media was supposed to bring us closer together, and I feel like social media instead has brought us further apart. And social media also has kind of devalued us in the sense of we're always comparing ourselves to the next individual, right? We want to see what the next individual is doing. So social comparison is at its all-time high, and self-esteem, unfortunately, has gone to the low. So I made a promise to myself and God and the universe to bring that self-awareness, that self-confidence back to play so that we can get to that place where we feel 110% confident in what we do. That we love each other, that we love ourselves, that we come connected again, as opposed to being further apart. There's so much catastrophe happening in the world right now. And I think when the pandemic happened and it shut us down, it still kind of drove us apart, but then there's that door that kind of brings us in. And now what's happening in the world and society is that we are kind of loosening our understanding of religion and gaining more of spirituality.
Yes.
And I think that
Speak
that kind of drives the message behind the music. That describes the message behind the brand, and then the brand is Nikai Wonder. So that's what drives me. They need to get that out so we can bring the love back again.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love
That was
it.
an excellent answer.
That was a genuine It comes from the heart. Like that's
You put,
that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do.
Okay.
I love it. I really do love that. I love that. That's beautiful.
Well, the next one we have is Sun sextile Jupiter.
Okay.
All right. So with this, we're going to be feeling very optimistic, right? So it's a good time to reach your goals, and it's good luck and happiness with this, right? So it sounds like you had a lot of good luck and happiness just being here in Atlanta this week. So that's good. So.
Yes. I haven't been in Atlanta in like 3 years. So to come back and feel all this love and this drive and to have the week that I did, phenomenal, optimistic.
Yes.
And I was saying, whenever you're in your purpose and whenever you're in what the universe has for you, things will naturally fall into your lap.
Yes.
Right.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, and my aunt, who is still here with us here now, she always said, whenever you're on your destined path, you should not need anything or want. It will come to you.
Exactly.
So I think this week is definitely proof of that concept.
Yes.
Right.
Like I said, I just came to do one thing, and I always had in the back of my mind, like, I wish I had another photo shoot. I wish I had the opportunity to connect with souls like myself. And look what the universe brought. Right.
That's
So
beautiful.
that's how beautiful it is. So like when you're on your path to greatness, that's what happens.
Yes.
Right.
It brings it in.
Yes.
So like, man, Jupiter, thank you. Thank you for being the biggest planet. Thank you for providing the optimism here.
Right.
I feel it all right.
Right. I always say your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yes, definitely does.
It does. And I always, it's funny you brought that up as well, because I always look at things as far as money wise, you know, people always say, I'm chasing the bag, I'm chasing the bag. I always look at it as the money comes to me. Money flows to me as long as, like he says, I'm living in my purpose.
The money will come.
The money comes. So I don't have to worry about that. Even if I'm down to my last dime, I don't have to worry about it because I'm living my purpose. We all have everything that we need. We're not going to miss a meal. We're not going to go cold.
Right.
And so we all stress out about things that the world gives us.
Naturally.
And I've also learned that over the years too. Because I used to stress out when I was younger. I used to stress about money and how am I going to pay this and how am I going to do that. But over the years, I've learned to just relax. And it comes every single time. Every single time. So I definitely feel you guys on that.
I can add to that. Like, I definitely feel the same way. Hitting a lot of walls, I would say, in my career. And even as a human being, you know, you become, sometimes you want to move things in desperation, which is never good. And even as a human being, you know, you become, sometimes you want to move things in desperation, which is never good. You need to always be clear-focused and clear-minded. So once again, you're put on that path, the money will come. The money will come. You know, if we go into some legacies or even current people today, if you look at Madonna was homeless. She was crashing on couch to couch before she became Madonna. Right. Lizzo was homeless in Texas before she had her break. So like, these are the things that it will come as long as you're on your path. Don't just your faith have to be so on point. You have to walk in faith and not in sight, and I promise you it will come to you. I'm living proof and concept of that.
Definitely.
It may not come when you want it to, but it will come when you need it to.
Exactly. It's supposed to come. That's beautiful.
Definitely.
It is.
Definitely.
Right. So I'll go right into our next transit. And we're going to have the Sun square Pluto. So the square energy is a little bit different. It's going to be, like I said last week, the square energy, a lot of people look at it as negative, but it's actually not negative. It just forces us to come to realization about things. And like I said, a lot of times when we go through bad situations or stuff like that, it might not actually be a negative situation. It just doesn't feel good. And oftentimes we look at things that don't feel good as negative, but it might not be negative. It might be the most beautiful thing that's ever happened.
Or a learning experience. Yeah, learning experience.
Exactly.
It also increases your need to try to be in control.
Very true.
You know?
Very true.
So.
Very true. I think with the cold planet Pluto. I think throughout there's never a negative experience. There's a learning lesson. There's some things that education teaches us, and then there's certain things that life teaches us. So throughout every bad, there's always a silver lining. And as tragic as things are, like 4 months ago, I lost my mother. So that was a very negative experience, right? But no, there was positive linings into it. So I've taken what my mom has taught me and I've created it into what's happening in my life right now, right? So, and I feel her spirit with me. That's why I wear her around my neck. So I think that, you know, we always think about the now and that moment. You know, when things are not going your way, it's like, but then if you actually go back and think about the next day or 48 hours, what did I learn from that? This may have happened, but this came about it. Like, this may be closed, like you may have had dinner reservations or you might have one go out. That may have been closed, but then also that night you were saved because there was an accident on the highway. That you could have probably been on the highway, and that's what the universe is protecting you from. So there's always a deeper meaning and underlying thing between that. And one of my friends had to teach me that. And I've taken that and I've kind of internalized that. So that's why I'm able to have that silver lining mentality. All things definitely do happen for a reason.
They do happen for a reason. That's so beautiful.
It's the bitter with the sweet.
Right. And I always look at it as we are spiritual beings.
Yes, we are.
So we dwell more in the spiritual world. We have lived more in the spiritual world than we have ever lived in this physical world. And we're all just trying to figure out who we are spiritually. And so the beautiful thing about it is we'll live forever spiritually. Physically, we'll all perish, but spiritually, we'll live forever. So that's the beautiful thing about it. That's the beautiful thing about it. And also speaking of that Sun square Pluto, it's going to be forcing us to think of new approaches to our passions and the way we think. And I think a lot of times what happens to us is we become stubborn. So, if, you know, we're not supposed to be thinking the same way we were thinking in 2020. So then if you become stubborn, you'll still have those same consequences of 2020.
Right, for sure.
And then that's why I was speaking of that Pluto energy. It's gonna force us, it's gonna put it in front of our face, and it's gonna give you an option to make that decision.
Force us to grow. Yeah, definitely, definitely. You know, if you look at a caterpillar, you think a caterpillar wants to go in the cocoon? No, they chilling with stuff. But when the cocoon happens, it's hard. I don't want to evolve. But they're gonna evolve. And then look at the butterfly that comes out of it. Right.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
So definitely.
Yeah.
And we talked about that for like
Wow.
We talked about the caterpillar.
Yeah. So that was perfect.
I didn't even know that. Look and see.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
In line. Okay.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
So next, I will talk about our next transit, which is Mars trine Jupiter.
Okay.
Right? So with this, anything that you put action behind, you're pretty much going to succeed with it. Right?
Speak.
So guys, I don't know what y'all got going on. I know a little bit about what I have going on. So I know as long as I put that drive and that action behind it, I should be good.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. I recently went to Miami Beach for spring break, and then I had a spiritual reading by a woman named Talia, and she would tell me at the end of the reading, your thought becomes a word becomes a praise into the universe will respond to it and bring it back to you.
Right.
So what you speak is powerful.
Yes. So
very, very powerful.
Yes.
So when you think doom will come, but if you think broad, if you think power, if you think success, yes, it will come. The universe will respond. It will catch up with you.
Yes.
And you put that vibe out because it is about energy. It is about spirituality.
Yes.
Spirits will connect like spirits.
Yes.
Energy will collect like energy. And I feel like now, since the pandemic, we've kind of loosened the grab a little bit on religion and gained that momentum on spirituality.
Yes.
So now people are becoming more aware.
Right.
And awareness is key into making it. And I feel like the more aware you become, the more the universe will start to hug you and present it to you. So I definitely agree with that.
Yes.
Man, there was this book, The Celestine Prophecy, that I read about a month ago, and it talks all about that. And it's such a great novel, and I recommend anybody to read that because you will understand the power of the energy and the power of the universe connected to God.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Okay.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I know also we're gonna be having those dynamic conversations too.
Yes.
So like with Mars trine Jupiter, and trine is one of the best transits. So it brings us the best energy that we get possible. So I do know that we're gonna be having those dynamic communications about our passion. And that's so beautiful to me because I know sometimes myself personally, I can get shy sometimes, but I do love the fact that we're gonna be being pushed to communicate our passions and to live in our true self.
With that, it's a good time to take risks.
Yep.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's a good time. Don't think too much about it.
Believe in
Just
yourself and do it.
Do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think to like rewind a little bit of what you're saying, like through negative experience of things. I think with the pandemic, like I said, it shut everything down.
Yeah.
But it made everybody reset. So remember the people who always complained about their jobs, now their jobs is closed, and they have to sit and think in their house, like, wait a minute, maybe I should go back to school and do this again. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should be an entrepreneur because I don't want to work with somebody else to be put in this situation again. And now we have the money to do these things, right? So it's like it put that on. So through every negative experience, they go that silver lining. Exactly. So now the time is now to start that business, to go back to school, to follow your passion. It's the perfect time to do it. The perfect time. Yes, the world has to go quiet for you to hear yourself. Communicate with you. And I think that was the biggest storyline that happened.
And we had to be forced to do that.
Yes.
We had to be forced to do that. A lot of us, and that's so funny because the universe, a lot of us, we don't, because we're so blinded, we have these glasses on, we're so blinded, we don't know ourselves. We're afraid to take those chances to make change. And so the universe will force us
into a situation like you have no other choice.
The universe was like, y'all ain't got no other choice. Like, I've been sitting here, I've been trying to give y'all signs. You know what? Y'all sit down.
I know movies about this. I really try to like listen.
Exactly.
So it took a pandemic for us to reset that and bring it back to focus. But now look what's happening from it.
Beautiful.
See, isn't it amazing?
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Man.
Yes.
Well, what we got next, friend?
All right, next we got Mercury sextile Jupiter.
Okay.
And so with that, energy that we got going on here, we're gonna be bringing in new ideas. So if you have been creatively stuck mentally, you're gonna be having those blocks moving out your way.
To that, that's a very powerful, very, very, very powerful statement, because it is hard, especially creatively, when you have a block.
Yeah.
So I know from my experiences, whenever I have a block, I can say follow the crumbs, because you'll be blocked. Go walk outside. When you walk outside, again, that universe will communicate with you like, oh, so look at this. Oh, look at this. Don't you like these trees? Isn't this tree blowing correctly? Why don't you write a song about trees? There you go. Right.
Exactly.
Look at these people talking. Right. Go have a conversation. Let's see your friend. Let's see your friend's problems. Let's see your friends being in love.
Yeah.
Don't you want to write a song about love?
Yeah.
Wasn't that what you was blocked about an hour ago?
Right.
Yeah, you got all the motivation in the world. So it comes in full circle, full circle, full circle, full circle. So definitely.
Yes.
Definitely, I think you should do that.
Yes, and I know, and it's beautiful that you said that, because myself, I love nature, and that's how I get out of my own way. Because I go into nature, or I like to take drives. I just like to be outside and be active and breathe in fresh air.
Yes.
So it's like that also helps me to get out of my own way. So, like I said, with this Mercury sextile Jupiter energy next week, we're going to be having those creative blocks moved out of our way.
Naturally.
Naturally. The universe is working with us to move those creative blocks out of our way.
Okay,
for sure. That's great.
Right. Okay, so our next one will be Mercury sextile Mars. So with this, you have a strong sense of purpose. Okay, so in your relationships will flourish. All right, so this can be your personal relationships or your business relationships.
Okay.
So that's definitely a good thing.
That is a wonderful thing.
It is a wonderful thing.
I think that is a very wonderful thing.
Right.
Again, the power of socially connecting and having that reset, so everybody's kind of starting from level one, so to speak. Now we have commonalities that we probably not had before because we're living ritualistic lives.
Right.
So now, with that, with Mercury and Mars, I think that's perfect that we have that. I think that's perfect that we're adding substance and depth to our relationships, or even creating new ones that you would have never thought to create before. Isn't that great? I mean, look what's happening here.
Exactly.
Right.
Literally.
Look how connected we are.
Literally.
So it's perfect. It's like it's on par.
It's perfect, and it's so crazy because every time we do have these shows and we have a show, everything lines up so perfectly. And me and Aranda, we talk about it every week.
Yeah.
Every week, and I'm like, oh, we just talked about this on the show.
Yes.
This is happening. You know, it's like it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and that's how. And we always say that's how we know we're in line with the universe because we have so many synchronicities. When you see the numbers and when everything is lining up perfect, you know that you're working with the universe.
Right.
You're in sync with the universe.
Right. With the caterpillar, I had no idea. Look how
Exactly. And I promise you, your words are almost verbatim what I said.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
See what happens when you open your
It's
mind.
real, man.
Right.
It's so real. And if you do not believe in these planets, the alignment, the spirituality, I don't know what to say.
I beg you to differ.
You got
I beg you to differ.
Exactly. All right. And with our last transit, we have Mercury square Pluto.
Okay.
And so we got Pluto in this square energy again. Pluto is, Pluto is the planet of death. It's the planet of rejuvenation. It's the planet of rebirth. So,
Phoenix.
Yeah, rise from the ashes,
like Phoenix.
So with this energy, you'll be finding yourself being forced to open up your mind to things that might have creatively blocked you.
Right.
So whether it might be a system, religion, or anything like that has been blocking you creatively, that's been standing in your way, that that's deep down up under there, this energy is going to be putting that in front of you so that you can move it out your way and flourish.
Right.
So we have the power of choice.
Yes, we do.
And the universe gives us that. And I always look at it as we have these doors that are placed in front of us, and you have the choice to open the door that you want to open. And so it's just the fact of embracing change.
Right.
So if we are able to embrace change, that's what Pluto forces us to do. Pluto forces us to embrace change. And like we said before, Pluto doesn't care what you're doing. Doesn't care where you at. It's just like change.
Yes. And we all need that.
And we all
thank you, Pluto.
You say change, I say evolve. I say evolve. Yes. It forces you to evolve. Because change is imminent. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen,
So you either can evolve or stay where you at, but change is going to happen. It's going to force you back to that caterpillar.
Right.
The butterfly is going to force them into a butterfly no matter what that caterpillar is doing. So definitely it's going to force you to evolve, become a better version of yourself.
Right.
We shed that skin cells every day, right? We become more and more of who we're supposed to be. So I believe that to be true also as well.
Yes.
Very much so.
It is.
I live by that.
Right.
So,
I do too.
I do too. I agree.
Yes.
Right.
Change ain't bad now. Change ain't bad.
It's not.
Nope.
Not at all.
Okay. All right, so Kyle, now we're going to go into our distraction segment.
Yes.
Right.
Distraction.
But first, we want to start it out with paying homage to DMX. So this past week, we lost a legend, DMX.
All dogs go to heaven.
Yes, for sure. And it hit me a little different. Like, I've heard it's been other people that have passed away. But honestly, when it comes to passing away, I don't look at it as a negative thing.
No.
I already know your spirit is being released. You ain't got to deal with this.
Right.
No more.
Your
You know
spirit
what I'm saying? Like, you good.
Your
Like,
spirit happy. Yeah.
but to a lot of people in the physical realm, it can be a heartfelt thing. And I did feel it. I will say that. Honestly, I did feel it when I heard that he passed away. So, DMX, I know you up there. I know you doing your thing. I know you watching down on us. We love you.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you for your music.
Thank you for your music.
Thank you for your music. And DMX was a Sagittarius. So he has that fire energy. So that's why
that's where all that comes from. It makes sense.
That's where honesty comes from. Because when he raps about his struggles. He was never scared to admit who he was on camera, on and off camera. And I think that's what made DMX so powerful.
Yes.
To be able to rap and sing about his struggles and have fun with it and do it in this authentic, grim kind of tone that we don't get no more.
Right.
Like that, or that honesty, authenticity. Like what hit me so hard about him was that when he did the versus battle, was it last year? They introduced him to a whole new genre. I mean, not a whole new generation. Because Gen Z kids didn't really know about DMX. We loved him. He was a rough rider for life. But that platform introduced him to a new generation of people. So he was on the rise again. But the struggles, the struggles with substance abuse got him. And that hurts my heart because I'm pretty sure he was given so many signals and so many people wasn't listening to what he was saying. And it's unfortunate that he had to relapse. He was clean for a while. And then he relapsed all over again. It's just so unfortunate that we didn't hear that from him. And again, being in the social world with social media and being reset, I just really wish somebody would have got to him and loved on him a little bit more so that he knows that he's loved and that it's a whole new beginning for him. And maybe you could change that. But his legacy will live on.
Definitely. He came and did what he was supposed to do. And that's just really what it boiled down to.
I really didn't know, because of course I grew up listening to DMX just like everybody else did.
From New York.
I actually, it's at that time, growing up listening, we were just into the music. Back then we were into the music. People didn't care about, as the young kids back then didn't care about album sales or who was the number one on the billboards and that like that. We were just glad that the music was really, really good. And so my thing was when I looked back and I watched a couple of videos, I did not know that DMX in '98 had 2 platinum albums, which was something that nobody really had ever did before him.
I believe it was just Dark and Hell is High and Blood of My Blood, Flesh of My Flesh. Flesh of Blood of My Blood. I'm
wow. DMX was the truth, man.
He was the truth.
My dad is a huge fan. So
DMX was the truth.
Yeah, he was definitely the truth. So shout out to DMX. Shout out to his energy.
His family.
Yes, he will forever live on.
Always.
So shout out to DMX.
Shout out.
And so on another positive note, before we get into our true distractions, we also had Spectacular from Pretty Ricky. He gave out $45,000 to struggling moms on Clubhouse.
I love that man.
Yeah, he's really been making an impact. He's been making money. He's been teaching other people how to make money, and he's been giving back. So shout out to you, Spectacular.
Shout out.
I actually, I was scrolling on my YouTube. and I listened to this podcast. And shout out to all the young people that's doing things that's out of the norm.
Right.
You know, I came across this YouTube channel that with two young dudes. They have a business YouTube channel where they have people like Dame Dash, and they come on and they give all this good business information.
Right.
And so they had Spectacular on, and it introduced me to a whole different side of him. I never knew that Spectacular was into business.
Yeah, really? Sure.
I didn't know that he even had the business mindset that he even had.
Yeah.
Like, I
a
never
lot of
knew
people
it.
didn't hear about him.
No.
I just recently, like last year,
He came on with a suit and all that. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Okay.
I'm buying it.
Okay, for real, yeah.
I kind of call on to him because I shout out to Mona Scott Young. I love watching Love and Hip Hop. That's my advice. Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And then Love and Hip Hop LA, and then more importantly, when he's on Love and Hip Hop Miami. And I think that is absolutely key that he is educated on a business aspect. I'm happy that he took a side from music and decided to go into and help his peers with business questions, opportunities, and things of that not. And the fact that he gave that to the moms is just not only courageous, but it's just such a humanitarian thing to do. And that's why I respect him so much.
Yes.
It's not just about the music with him.
Yes.
Right.
And watching that show, when you get into that personality, you kind of see that part of him. Because he's a pretty rich, he was a sex addict. I'm not a sex addict, he was a sex addict. He was a sex symbol of the show. Right. So you would never expect him to do what he is doing now. He's quiet one, so he's completely right now. I tell my business hat to him. He reminds me of, I think he's a younger version of Mike Bivens.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. On that business side, helping the business side going run. And there's a lot of business opportunities actually in Pretty Ricky that he was responsible for. Because his brother is Baby Blue.
Okay.
So I believe that Spectacular kind of took that business part from his father, and that's what he expanded it to what he is now. That's why I respect that man so much.
Yes, for sure.
Mike Bivens. Definitely.
And you can really tell the people when you see these groups together, and the ones when the group breaks up, the ones that go off this way, and the ones that sort of you can tell which ones was like sort of paying attention to what's going on.
Oh yeah.
It's just like with any business or just with your regular 9 to 5. You want to take something from it. You don't want to just be there to be there. Take something from it. Learn how to use the cash register down to the T where you can go teach somebody else at another. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, he did his thing with that. So I'm proud of you, Spectacular.
Very proud.
Very proud.
The next thing I want to talk about before we get into the distractions is Pinky from Slutty Vegan, the owner of Slutty Vegan.
Okay.
She has now partnered with Shake Shack.
Oh.
Right? So they're going to have an exclusive burger that they're going to put out for a limited time.
Okay.
But it's super dope. Pinky has been doing her thing. She's been doing her thing. And we are so proud of you, Pinky. Especially being a part of the Black community.
Right.
We love you, girl. I know I love you. I love your food. So I don't know if you've ever been to a Slutty.
Watch this, right? So she started out here in Atlanta. She had, I want to say maybe 3-4 years ago, she did a pop-up shop in Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. It was so large, it took 2 or 3 hours to place your order. That's how bad it went.
Yes.
So the fact that she had that powerful, that impact in a whole nother state, not from where she started, phenomenal.
Across the country.
Across the country.
And it's funny, because I was gonna go to Slutty Vegan the other day. Okay. And when I pulled up, it was a line down the road. And I was like, you know what, Pinky? It's good, girl. It's good.
Your feet weren't feeling it.
I wasn't feeling it that day, but I'm gonna go back and give me some more. But I did watch this other podcast. Okay. And the podcast is based out of New York. Okay. And she's from New York. Okay. And she had, I guess, it was a different restaurant up there before she came here and created Slutty Vegan. But everybody in New York was pissed off at her when she moved from New York to Atlanta.
I would be mad too.
She took all her good stuff with it. Man. But she has a major impact. I don't know what she put in that food, but she has a major impact.
That pinky toe. She gonna put that pinky toe up in that food.
Pinky toe. She in Birmingham now. She just opened a restaurant in Birmingham.
She falls down. She falls down.
She's going to a lot of low income areas. So she's bringing her business. She's bringing attractions.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Low
beautiful.
in some areas.
It's definitely gonna be a franchise.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna be a
definitely see
franchise. I thought it was a franchise at first.
Me too.
This is her right now, I think. This is, I don't even think anybody has, but it
But
has
I
broken
think
out
it's
to
beautiful
10.
that it's just her. And me personally, I don't know. I can't tell nobody what to do, but I personally would love to see her continue to do it as her.
Yeah,
and I
for
would
sure.
love to see her franchise
yes.
her business just by herself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Without having to, you know what I'm saying?
Because some people will mess you up.
Yeah.
They'll mess you up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Wait. I feel like even because everything as we evolve, the burn to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I feel like if she was to hire, just as long as she remains the captain of the ship, I feel like it will never fall down.
Yes.
So you should hire, since she can hire a co-captain, but as long as she's the captain of the ship, I feel like it'll be no slander. I think she will excel in the business. So definitely, I would definitely that. Yeah. Because that brand is going to get huge. Again, California, right? Being vegan city. There's a whole vegan neighborhood, right? I used to live in it. Shout out to Echo Park. So imagine with that 3-hour line at Pasadena, that she doesn't actually have a storefront to start.
Yes. So that's how it was here before when it was just approved.
I seen it. That's how I thought it was a franchise. I'm like, I saw the slave vegan in California. No, not yet. Yeah. Then we was like, she's doing a pop-up shop all 3 hours. Yeah, I love you.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't do Uber Eats.
We love you, Pink. We love you.
Yes, beautiful.
All right. So I guess I'll go right into the distraction.
Okay. Let's get it.
All right. So my first distraction is Tiger Woods. Mr. Tiger Woods, he so basically they came out and said that the reason that he had his car accident was because he was going 87 in a 45.
Sounds about LA.
So he was whipping it.
Yeah, real hard.
Yeah. You know, they always say that he was under the influence. So, who knows what he was under the influence of, but allegedly. But I don't know. I'm glad that he's all right.
Yeah,
but,
I am happy he's all right.
Tiger Woods, it's like you can look at him and tell there's something that's going on inside of there.
Yes.
Inside his spaceship, there's something going on.
Can you imagine, not making excuses because you shouldn't be driving under influence. In the state of California, when you have that, it can be a really rocky situation for you. But can you imagine just being so big in the golf industry and being African American and Asian? You're part of 2 minority groups. So imagine the pressure that he has to succeed.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Imagine how that can get to you.
For sure.
And imagine, because as men, we can't express our emotion, or we're known for not expressing our emotions, which is something that I love about, again, the pandemic, because it forced us to look into ourselves. And it can be okay now for us to express our emotions, right? We have Mike Phelps, who had that commercial about him being depressed and expressing his depression. So I can only imagine, as being an African American and Asian American male, the pressures in the predominantly white dominated golf industry, it can get to you.
Yeah, for sure.
We're all human, right? We're not perfect, we're all flawed.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that didn't end tragically for him.
Yes,
Right.
I'm happy that Hyundai got that Genesis SUV, saved his life. Because I promise you there would have been other trucks or cars that would have ended so greatly. Because to do almost 90 in a 45 in the accident, it's not looking great. So I'm happy that it didn't end so roughly for him or tragic for him.
Yeah.
So while he continues to build history and make history for us, right? Because he's a part of us, right?
Exactly.
So I'm happy that he lives to tell that story.
Yeah.
But I hope, only pray that the demons that he is facing, he's gonna, the Jupiter put in his face.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go back to that. Put in his face. So now he has to evolve. Let's hope that he evolves with that. What's going on with that tragic accident.
Exactly. And I definitely feel you on that. Like you said, we probably would never know the half of the things that he has seen, gone through, or has had to do to maintain status, or to even be one of the top golf players. And I know there was a time where he was gonna beat the record, the one record, and he didn't. But it's like the stress and all of that. So, you know, who knows what's going on in the background and underneath. But we are glad that Tiger Woods is okay.
He's still alive.
He's alive. He's amongst the living.
Right.
It's so silly.
I guess I'll go right on to the next distraction.
Okay.
And so, I'm glad you are here with us because I do really want your input to see what you think about this. So, Apple is investing $50 million into United Masters to support independent artists. So, how do you feel about that?
As an artist, I am super excited.
Yes.
What people don't understand is, number one, Apple runs the entertainment industry. So if you go to any studio, you will always see a Mac.
Yeah.
Some version of a Mac because it's so easy accessible. So the fact that they will put that profit, that money into supporting independent artistry is phenomenal. I love it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. We need more people like that. We need bigger companies to kind of invest into that. That's great. I will not be surprised if in 5 years Apple's going to start hosting festivals. Watch what I say.
Yeah, and I feel like they definitely are. I got my cat eye on Apple. Because I got that cat eye on Apple because I'm trying to watch them because I'm one of those people that's very watchful of major corporations because I want to know what your intentions are. What your intentions are. And one thing I do know is that these the music companies, they are about to be non-existent. These music franchises, the record labels, the major three, they're about to be non-existent.
Universal,
and I feel like these major record labels, they sort of ran the world. They were real talk. They were the gatekeepers, right? Because the culture runs the world, and African American culture creates the culture that runs the world. And so I do know that Apple wants to keep their hand in that pot. They got to keep their hand in that pot. So you know what I'm saying? I am glad that they are supporting independent artists. But I do know that they have to keep their hand in that pot somehow. They can't let it get away.
Let's just hope that they don't have any negative intent with it.
Right.
They're trying to have that control. Once again, trying to find a way to have control.
Yeah.
So going back to what you're saying with the major three labels, they're losing their grip. But the only thing that the major labels have that the rest of the world doesn't have, they have power over radio. So that's their bread and butter, and that they're holding on to that so much hard. But then who listens to radio stations? Because it's a streaming platform, right? Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. So I know like Spotify tried to do it, and now Apple's doing, like I said, it's phenomenal. I knew Apple was doing it because, we do a little music business. So whenever you hear music, when you go to a grocery store, when you go to a mall, when you go to any place that has over 50 people, they have to issue what we call a blanket license to play the music so that us artists can get paid for the music you're listening to, right? We're helping you run your business. So Apple, it was rumors 2 years ago, Apple inquired a license, Apple Music for Business, where businesses can stream using the Apple Music platform. When I heard that, I knew that they was about to take over.
So they're cutting out paying the artist and going straight to paying Apple instead of paying the artist.
So you know how we have individual plans, family plans, there was gonna be now music for business, where the businesses can pay Apple to stream. Yes. And another thing with royalty points or with streaming, it's 9 to 10th of a penny last time I checked, even though I know recently we had the Music Monetization Act. So it may have increased a little bit in value, how much we get paid per stream. But I know that of that, Apple Music kind of has the highest stream. So Spotify may pay like 9 cents of a penny. Apple Music may pay like the 7 cents of a penny. So it's like they are in high regards the most you get paid when you stream music outside of YouTube. UGC, user-generated content. It's a little business.
Business.
So we love to dive in. So I'm happy that they're investing back in independent artistry.
Yes, they should. Yes, and that's the least they can do.
I know, like I said, Spotify is great doing it, but Spotify is outside of the US. I think its origins in UK. So they will always look out for their country. They're always looking out for us.
For sure.
Yeah, man. There's always a method to the madness.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm glad.
Madness. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay.
See?
Right. We know that.
We told y'all last week to put on your scuba mask. We got the need. So next we got Tyler Perry.
Come on, TP.
He's a Virgo.
Oh, I did not know
believe it.
that.
He's a Virgo.
I believe it.
And so, the Virgos, earth signs, Capricorns, earth signs. But Virgos, you guys love routine. So that's how I really figure, with Tyler Perry and the whole Madea thing. Once he found that niche, every time, he's like, oh, okay,
Yeah, this works.
this works.
Keep it going.
Right,
Yeah.
keep it going.
Yeah.
Right. So, if you guys didn't know, he's bringing back Madea. Madea was,
Medea was the foundation.
Yes, she was the foundation, but he had laid her to rest.
Yeah.
He did.
And Showtime called and woke Madea back up. Right out the grave.
He said, grab your gun in your purse. Come on, let's get to go. I ain't playing y'all. I ain't playing y'all. All right, come on. Come on, TP.
So Tyler Perry is going to be on Showtime with the new show. It's going to be called Mabel. And it's going to be based in the 70s.
When she was tripping.
Yeah, so it's gonna be good, and I think Showtime saw the lane for it, and they jumped on it.
Okay.
And they had the money.
Okay, of course they do that. Yeah, Showtime.
They had the money.
Of course they do. Okay.
So shout out to Tyler Perry.
TP.
We gonna see what you do with Madea.
I think that is so phenomenal because correct me if I'm wrong, I know one of the prime reasons why he wanted to retire Madea was because he didn't want to keep dressing up in drag. I mean, that's what it is, right? He dressed up as an old grandmother.
Right.
He wanted to kind of retire the idea and focus about behind the camera, building his studio, which is phenomenal. See, when I lived in Atlanta, we didn't have that. So the fact that he has a whole exit on the highway named after him, right? And it's so huge. It's like, oh man, you are so incredible. I would love to meet this man.
Yes, it's huge.
But I know he wanted to retire that. So the fact that it makes sense now why he had to put her gun and her purse back on, because now we're doing the 70s, he don't have to do that no more.
Right.
Now another actress can kind of take that role and still play behind the scenes and still live that legacy of Mabel Simmons.
And that's my curiosity, if he's going to come back or if he's gonna get an actual
one.
Well, she probably would.
I think so. It would make sense.
Because it would only make sense.
And I also feel like a lot of times when we are very career driven, like people like Tyler Perry, they miss out on their personal life.
Yeah.
So I feel like right now he's yearning for a personal life.
Yeah.
He's yearning for that. Yeah. So shout out to Tyler Perry.
Shout out to Tyler Perry, man. His story is so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like when he started the Madea plays, that was a big thing in Atlanta. Another one, he was living outside of his car on this dream. And the play started going, and then for the success of Diary of a Mad Black Woman to soar into what it is now. Like now Madea is a household brand.
Yeah, definitely. So,
So,
what? You
I got one.
You got one?
You got one?
The teens send us these distractions from the universe. Okay, clearly, all our distractions come from the universe.
Right.
The teens send them down to us. We figure out what we want to bring.
Right, we learned a lesson from them.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, definitely.
So the next one I want to touch bases on is the George Floyd's case. Y'all know that's going on right now. So basically, the medical examiner has now ruled his death as a homicide. Right? So, but I mean, we've been on that.
We've been on that.
Right. Exactly. Which is why I consider this a distraction, because it's kind of like, okay, y'all just now getting to this. Like, come on, let's get this. Let's get this going, man. Let's get this going, man.
Hard to find any kink that they to make this man go away. And there's nothing you can say. Look at the evidence. Women lie, men lie, evidence never. So all the evidence, I've been watching it and I'm looking at all the evidence, all the interviews. It's like, boom, that is your smoking gun.
Right.
It shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't.
Period.
Straight up.
Like, period. I even know how
The
it
thing
is
is,
for
it's
trial.
the cake.
Right. I don't know how you make a child.
Yes.
Right.
This is like butter. So I just really don't.
Right.
They're trying though. The defense is really trying its hardest.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Which is why that is a huge distraction.
It is a huge
because it's just
distraction.
dragging us as black people along this road with y'all, and it's just like, come on, we ready for it.
Right.
Right.
No,
Right.
let's get this together.
Right.
And I really feel you on it. The distractions for me, it's like it's an emotional hold.
Yes.
So if they let go of the emotional hold that they have on us, we'll be able to think clearly. So they have to drag out this case for a year, 2 years to keep you emotionally involved, because if your mind was left alone, think about the things that you would create. Think about the beautiful life that you would live.
Yes.
So I have to put
family.
somebody in front of you, and I have to
Yeah.
film this man getting killed. I have to show you this little boy getting killed. I have to show you this happening so I can have you emotionally involved, because as long as I got you emotionally involved, you can't think clearly. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like that is a tactic.
Yes,
It's a
it is.
distraction.
It is definitely
It's a
tactic.
very distraction.
It's a distraction.
It's a huge distraction.
And to go off of that, for the last distraction, we basically have in Roswell, Georgia, at the Kids Are Kids daycare, they showed video footage.
I heard about that.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yeah, the white kids eating and the black
Yes,
kids not.
yes. Which to me is, my opinion, is a huge distraction, because it's just like, okay, another emotional hold, something to make
Keep us
frustrated.
emotionally aroused.
Yeah, frustrated. Because at the end of the day, I feel like black people, we know at this point, come on, let's build our own schools. We don't have to deal with it.
We don't have to deal with
We just
it.
don't have to.
Take your baby to grandmama's house
Yeah.
down the street with the rest of the team.
Right, but she can feed her on time.
Where then you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
getting out work early. Go
Yeah.
pick them up, because
Yeah.
grandma's gonna keep them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's so unfortunate, you know, with some media, but sometimes they have to keep distractions, as we say, alive to keep them relevant.
Exactly.
And I feel like, of course, it's going to be hitting news now because George Floyd's going on. So why not go ahead and show this discrimination that's having to feed
Yes.
this survive, which is like
It's
on, right? Instigates it. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Let's go ahead and put this in there so we can feed that. So we can go ahead and really put in his mind of what's happening, going on. It was very misfortunate, very misfortunate. The outrage. It just, man,
It's
kids,
it's
like
ridiculous.
kids.
It really
It's the
is
children.
ridiculous.
It's the children.
Yeah,
It is
and that
the
makes
children.
them and put ourselves in their shoes.
Right.
So they're sitting at the table and they're seeing this going on. That's messing with their mind.
right.
That's making them feel smaller than the other kids, or making them feel, you get what I'm
No, a
saying, like
lot
they're less
of
than.
great philosophers like people don't consider Dick Gregory as a philosopher, but a lot of great minds like Dick Gregory and stuff like that, they all say that by the time we are 5 years old, we're doomed.
Right.
Like they have already brainwashed us to the point where they need us. By the time you're 5, you're already to the point where, okay, we good now. We got them exactly what we want. It's crazy, and it sheds a light on how much that more we have to be involved with the little kids.
Yes.
But then it all trickles down again. My parents couldn't be involved with me because they were at work 24/7. So it's like it's a trickle effect. It's a trickle effect.
It is a trickle
And
effect.
as black people, we are doing the best we can do.
Yeah, we are.
We are doing the best we can do, and our minds are opening even more.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And we are growing even more,
Yep.
and that's why so much is happening right now,
Yeah.
because the hold on our mind
Yeah,
is
it's
loosening.
up.
the universe is starting to play in our
And
favor.
we're becoming more
That's
in
just-
tune with spirit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But can you imagine growing up as a child during the pandemic? So what hurts me so much is that these kids went from being isolated, because remember schools was closed, right?
Yeah.
So when we were younger, socialism was real. Like we could go hang out with our friends, and we could have school lunch, free lunch, and have recess.
Cell phone.
Right, no cell phones,
No cell phone.
Right.
So to have that with us, that's a blessing. For them to have it altered for a year, and then to come back in the social setting and still deal with isolation.
Yes.
Yeah.
How does that work on the side?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work on the side?
Yeah.
That disturbs me.
Yes.
Yeah.
That disturbs me.
So real.
But on the flip side of sin, the fact that entrepreneurship is becoming so prevalent now, so that us as African Americans or people in the black community are opening schools, are being principals, opening daycare centers, so that they don't have to deal with this. Or even our counterparts, white Americans, Asian Americans, the fact that they're seeing this and they don't want to have to be pointed at. So now they're opening up their minds so that everybody can live as one, because we're all human beings first, right?
Yes.
Right.
We all bleed the same blood, do we not?
We do.
So like, you know, the fact that they are outraged, because I heard that on the Franksky show, and there was a woman who called and she was like, I'm a white woman. I was so outraged by what happened. I was gonna drive there. She lived in LaGrange. I was going to drive an hour there, and I was going to feed every single child that did not have a meal opportunity. That just blew my heart away.
Yeah.
Like that just blew my, and I'm happy that that's happening.
Because it's not really a race thing.
It's not a
It's
race
not a race thing at all. They're trying to make it a race thing. They want it to be a race thing.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. Poison the mind.
But it's just. We know what it is.
Yeah, we know what it is.
Right.
We know what it is. For sure.
We got deep over here. We got
Right.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay.
So, we thank you guys for, tuning in with the distractions.
Yes.
Those were some distractions for your ass.
Yes.
But you got to learn some lessons from them though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's right. With the lessons.
Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and go into our weekly forecast.
Okay.
All right. So, Fran, I don't know if you want to start out. You want me to start?
I can start out.
Okay.
All right. So with our weekly forecast, I'm going to start out with the Earth signs. And the Earth signs is going to be Capricorns, Tauruses, and Virgos. All right. And with the Earth signs, I feel like with this transit, with this coming up week, you're gonna be feeling very airy. So we're gonna have a lot of airy. It's gonna be a lot of communication.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're gonna be in the clouds. You're gonna be feeling really airy. And so with Earth signs, I would say try to master communication.
Okay.
Try to master communication, because with Earth signs, you guys are very grounded.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are very level-headed. You're very logical.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you don't like to dwell in the airy places. You like to be logical.
Mm-hmm.
So try being a little bit airy this coming up week, Earth signs. Try with your communication and just, try to live a little bit in the clouds.
Well, it's funny because sometimes you have to go up to look down at your situation, don't you?
Yes.
So it would be nice to live in the clouds and actually see down. You can see from a clear point of view. You can look at the bigger picture.
Right.
So maybe that is the perfect time to plan.
Mhm.
That's the perfect time to communicate.
Yes.
There's no distractions on the ground, which what happens with us, right? There's no distractions on the ground. That's taking some things. So now you're in the air, you're looking at everything.
Right.
You're Overwatch.
Right, you're Overwatch.
So you can overwatch your career, your personal life, your social life. Okay, well, I can do that there. I can do that there. Oh, I can see that over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that over there. That's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
I think it's perfect.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go into our fire signs. So our fire signs, we have Aries, Sagittarius, and our Leos.
Okay.
All right. So for our Aries, this is a increased time of your self-confidence and your energy.
Yes.
All right. For our Sagittarius, you're feeling strong and courageous. This is a good time to impress someone in business and in personal. Right? Leos, we're having good luck in our personal growth and spiritual growth.
Okay.
All right. So it's a strong time to compete, and it's a strong time to win.
Oh, you're a Leo and Lion.
I'm actually a Libra.
Oh, you a Libra? Come on,
Yes.
the scale.
Yes, the scales. I'm very balanced. Very balanced. But that's what I have for my fire sign.
All right.
All right.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Especially for them Leos.
But I'm Leos, yes. For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay.
Yep, and I'll go right into the water signs. And with the water signs, we have Cancers, Scorpios, and Pisces. Yes, and I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
I'm a Scorpio. So with the water signs, like I said, with this transit that's coming up this week, we're gonna be feeling very airy. So with water signs, we are very emotional. So sometimes if we get too airy, we get lost in our thoughts. And we can get depressed because we're so emotional. So
about right.
Yeah. So with the water signs, I would say try not to fall into any type of depressions, Be airy, be comfortable with your thoughts. Have your thoughts, let them process, and move on with them.
Okay.
Move on with your thoughts, process those thoughts, and have your way.
Have your way.
Yes.
And if you struggle, there's always somebody in your life that provides that balance. So maybe you need to rely on your earth friend.
Your earth friend.
That's what I'm saying. Balance.
Yes.
So that balance.
And I also with water signs, and I'm like I said, I'm a water sign myself. So one thing that I did discover for water signs, when we are feeling a little depressed or too deep in our thoughts and things like that, try running your hands up under a faucet of water.
Oh.
Or a shower or swimming or something like that. Being around the water. For air signs, it's nice to get a breeze or fan yourself.
Okay.
Right? Okay. For earth signs, it's nice to go walking barefooted.
Yeah.
So go out in the grass and walk barefooted.
That makes sense.
Sit in the sun, up under a tree or something like that. And for the fire signs, you guys love that heat. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, don't tell me to play with fire. I thought that's where you were going.
I'm not gonna tell you to play with no fire, but you guys love that heat, so you guys love that passion and stuff like that. So go find something passionate, you know, that's gonna be. So that's what I have for the water sign. I basically gave a synopsis of everybody.
You really did.
That's what I have for the water sign.
Yeah, because I know for me, for Libra, I love to put my hand when I'm driving. I love to put my hand outside the window and just let it. You know, I guess children do that, but I guess I'm a grown child. But it feels good. Yeah, I love it. It really does soothe me. So that makes sense. That was a good point.
For the earth sign in me, Capricorn, in California, there's a lot of valleys and mountains, and I love looking at them and hearing nature. So when the wind blows, it doesn't blow often in California, but when it does blow, you can hear it like it's such a siren kind of almost sound. And when you're looking at valleys and mountains, it's so peaceful.
Yes,
so peaceful. And I live in a valley, so they're everywhere.
It's right there.
You know, it's right there. It might have been what drove you from New York to Cali.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got to start looking at hills and cars and stuff.
Right, yes.
You need to be
grounded. Yes. I love looking at landscape. So that is probably the Capricorn in me that actually loves
that drove me there. That's what's up.
That's beautiful.
That's something different. Absolutely. Okay, so for my air signs, I have Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius.
Okay.
All right. So for our Geminis, they're feeling very assertive. Okay. Right. So they're also feeling highly creative. Ooh. So that's good for them because they think a lot, they use their minds a lot, they read a lot. So creativeness is just something that comes second nature to them. So that's dope. Right? For our Libras, our personal relationships are benefiting from our charm and our charisma. Because I know for me, I know I'm charming. So that ain't, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So whatever did that Whatever did. Okay. So with our Aquarius, we have a kind of a negative, if you look at it like that, and a positive to this thing, right? So with our Aquarius, we're having disagreements because of our moodiness, and I learned a new word, all right? Okay. So it's paracalism.
Oh.
Right? So paracalism means narrow-mindedness, all right? That's the negative, but it is positive ways to get through that, guys, okay? So with deep mental thoughts, you can get through this, okay? But it's an excellent time to tackle difficult things. So that's the positive thing about it. That is. All right? So that's it for my air signs for this week.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful horoscope for the week now.
Yes. So we thank you guys. That was our weekly forecast, and we thank you guys for tuning in with us. And we thank our special guest. Would you like to let everybody know where they can follow you and where they can find you?
You can definitely find me on social media. I'm KAO_Wonder, WOND. Alright. That's on Instagram and Facebook. If you go ahead and search Kyle Wonder and YouTube, you can find all of my music and my videos there. Currently I have Type Busy. Okay. And also I have a song Famous, and then I have some new stuff coming in next month. Maybe I'm releasing another song in Python for the summer. Okay. Beautiful vibe. Beautiful vibes. And then you can also go to my hub, KyleTheBrand.com. So it's KAOTHEBRAND.com.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Come talk to me, holler at me, DM me. I love everybody. You know, I want to talk business, you want to talk friendship, whatever you want to talk about. I'm here.
Yes, we were so thankful for having you. It was nice meeting you.
Yes.
We definitely have to keep in touch.
Yes, the vibes are there.
Y'all want to come see me in LA?
Yes. We're coming to LA.
Y'all heard this, right? You know I'm going to follow up, right?
So thank y'all for tuning in. This was episode number 6. Woo. So we're doing our thing. Thank you to our guests. Thank you, Quinn.
Yes.
Nice. All right.
Check back in with us.
All right.
See you later.
Let's go. But at the end of this cup, I'ma feel good. Numb that pain.